Hi Granny Gardeners! I did a very specific explainer on planting tomato seeds a few days ago, a few weeks ago, a few months ago, I don't know, time's lost all meaning, but a lot of the same principles apply for planting any kind of seeds. So I'm going to do just a super general explainer. One of the things I went over in the other video is that the best way to pot seeds is in a container that has little drainage holes so that the excess water can drain out the bottom. But if you don't have things like that, you can start plants in anything. You just have to be diligent about making sure that you don't overwater them. I've been having some success using the containers from the brand store because I pretty much live on stuff from the bakery. So what I do is I start by filling up whatever I'm planting in, maybe like 2/3 of the way full with dirt. The bags of soil that I've been giving away are great for starting dirt, or great for starting seeds, sorry. You can start them in anything. You can start them in old cans and yogurt containers. Really anything that'll hold dirt, you can start seeds in. So what I'm going to plant in here is, you can see that I filled it about 2/3 of the way up. I'm going to plant some chard. So I like to put a few seeds in each little pot that I'm planting in. Don't be discouraged by the fact that not every seed you plant is going to come up. It's just a numbers game. So I like to put at least 2 or 3 seeds per little pod that I'm planting. So you can just plunk them in there, and yeah, don't be discouraged if not every single one comes up. So once you've got the seeds in, I think that the specifics vary a little bit from seed to seed, but a rule of thumb that I try to follow is when you're topping them up with dirt, once you've put the seeds in, you want to make sure the seeds are buried by about twice the depth of the seed. So seeds are pretty small, which means you don't need like a ton of dirt piled on top. But you want to make sure that the seeds are completely covered. So once you've got them in your little pots, top them up with a little bit more soil. So you want to make sure that they're not drenched, and that particularly if you are planting your seeds in things that don't have drainage at the bottom, that you're not overwatering them. You want the soil to be evenly moist and stay evenly moist. And how often you need to water them is going to depend on a lot of factors, like how warm your house is, whether or not they're in direct sunlight. If you're using things like these muffin containers, you can start the seeds. I wouldn't completely close them. What I've been doing is sticking a little pen in the edge of the box so that the lid is partially closed, but there's still good air circulation. It's like a little mini greenhouse. And then once the seeds sprout through the soil, you're going to want to take the lid right off. If you're just starting in a pot, totally fine. It's optional whether or not you cover it. So just keep an eye on the soil and make sure that you keep it evenly moist. Another piece of advice that I want to give you is to label everything. I am the worst at this. I plant seeds in trays, and then I tell myself, oh, I'm going to remember what that is, and then I don't. And then I have all kinds of mystery plants. So just the nice thing about these Banster containers is you can just write on the label, so this is chard / chocolate chip muffins. On transplanting, you're going to get a lot of different advice about the right time to transplant things once they start sprouting from these initial little pots. One easy rule of thumb is that if they've started to develop their second set of seeds, their second set of leaves once they're coming up, that's a good time to transplant them into a bigger pot. If they are seeds that you're starting indoors and then moving outdoors later on to plant outside, you're going to want to make sure that you baby them a little bit. Don't just take them and plant them right outside where it's cold at night. You can start off by moving your trays outside during the day and then bringing them back in at night, and just helping those little suckers adjust to being outside. And yeah, be patient. That's my biggest piece of advice. Not every seed's going to sprout. Some of them are going to take a really long time. Don't give up hope on them. Don't overwater them. Sometimes watering these things seems like the only thing we can do, but overwatering them can actually be harmful, so just focus on keeping them evenly moist and being patient and hoping for the best. So those general rules are good for just about every kind of seed that I've given away in your kits. So hopefully that's helpful for everybody as you start planting your seeds. Thanks, greening gardeners.